Day one of the Singapore World Championships 2025, and we've got new 400 meters freestyle world champions, drama in the 4x100 meters freestyle relay, and 0 US gold medals on day one. Plenty to get through. Let's jump straight in. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Propulsion Swimming Podcast. Yes, we're bringing you guys daily uploads during the World Championships this summer. We're going to take you through all of today's racing, albeit with a caveat that the 400 meters freestyle for the men's side wasn't able to be viewed here in the UK because of streaming problems, but we will get into that. Let's not get too negative straight away.
I mean, arguably it was the biggest race of the whole evening, but whatever. Yeah, carry on.
We'll get to it. But plenty to get through. We're going to take you through the finals of tonight's session. So there was the men's 400 meters freestyle, the women's 400 meters freestyle, and the 2 4x1 free relays, alongside our thoughts or like immediate reactions for the semi-final swims leading into tomorrow's finals. We won't spend too much time on them, other than the odd standout swim, and we'll have a bit of a Brit watch as well as we go along, because this is predominantly a British swimming podcast, albeit worldwide here for World Championships. Just to let you guys know that the Propulsion Swimming Podcast is partnered with OneFlow Aquatics out in Summer Bay. If you want to go on an elite training camp, you can follow the link in the show notes of this podcast.
I mean, I actually thought our Brits did quite well, like solid swims throughout. There were PBs, British records, which we'll talk about as well. But we're better to start than the men's 400 free, but we didn't manage to get to see it, which was a huge disappointment when you look at the results and you think, oh, it's separated by half a second or so. Huge. Yeah, it must have been an amazing race to watch live.
Here in the UK, swimming finished at, let's say, about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're recording this podcast at 5 o'clock because I needed to cool off. I was rather hot in the head after looking at the times for the men's 400 meters freestyle, and Eurovision Sport, let's put it bluntly, messed up. Yeah. They've got a deal with Aquatics GB, or Aquatics GB have an arrangement that the live stream goes onto the Aquatics GB website, but it's also on Eurovision Sport's website, and it just didn't work for the first half an hour of tonight's racing. I think, looking into it and speaking with a few people behind the scenes, not at either company, it was the wrong stream that was connected to the output, essentially. We had springboard diving for a tiny bit, and Dan's actually just caught up on racing, and it's still not correct on like the playback, like you watching it back, it's still not there. You've still got half an hour of loud noise, which for a World Championship event that hasn't been picked up on broadcast, there's no broadcasting rights here in the UK, it's not on television, this is the only way for us to watch it without using a VPN, without paying for World Aquatics, which is like, I can't remember how much it is for a 7-day pass. I bet you a lot of the British swimming public straight away after the first half hour of pain turned it off and didn't bother coming back.
Oh yeah, you've got to be a diehard swimming fan to be able to sort of withstand half an hour of nothing, almost blank screen really. And so if you're trying to get new eyes on a sport, that instantly loses those new viewers because they're not going to tune in because they're just
afternoon as well.
Yeah,
like, there's just a massive opportunity there.
Yeah, they're just assuming now that the stream won't work and they won't revisit it again. So it's almost like first impressions. Like first impressions count, and that's like the worst start you could have had. Especially with half an hour, like you can kind of get away maybe like for a minute or two, but then when you go on to diving, it's something completely different. It's not ideal. It's not the best start, and we hate to start things on a negative note. I kind of had a bit of a positive note when the swimming did come on. Like instantly, graphics were all over the place, and I was like, oh well, some are good, some are not, but it's too much. Too much is going on, and it kind of reminded me of when you watch Formula 1 or motorbikes, and you see the positions changing on the side of the screen, which is great when it doesn't happen too often. But in swimming, it's like every millisecond, and it's too much is going on. So I like it. I like some of it, like the world record line, like lit up green when they're ahead of it. Okay, great, I like it. But there's too much going on, which kind of is negative again. I thought I was going to be positive. Sorry. Yeah.
Let's move on to the race then. Albeit I have only seen the last 50 meters of this race, so apologies. We'll properly watch it back at a later date because when it's on YouTube and the full race is out there, then sure, we can get the chance to do this. But by all accounts, This was I'm talking men's 400 meters freestyle. This came down to the race. Like heading into these world championships, me and you said, well, look, Lukas Märtens has broken this world record this year. It makes sense. That was an in-season swim that he could break the world record again. But I'm not ever sure we'll get a world record broken in the men's 4-free at a major meet. Just because when medals are on the line, tactics come into play. And yes, this was still an incredibly fast race. The first 200 meters, Lukas Märtens and Sam Short turned at 1:48, which is fast. Like, that's not slow, but that's not world record pace. And they're both staring each other in the eye and kind of sussing each other out. And you've got to save something back if one man's going to go with you. Unlike when Lukas Märtens set the world record, it was a time trial.
Yes, yeah.
It's a very different thing. Time trial compared to a world gold medal, which Lukas Märtens hasn't had in this event.
You could say it's quite surprising because he went 3:42 at the AP meet. Clearly not
He
tapered
did.
for that.
He did.
He will be tapered for this, and he's hitting the same, give or take, the same sort of time now. So I suppose from that point of view, it is a little bit surprising that he didn't go quicker than that sort of range of time. But I think if Märtens didn't hit the world record this year, we would have said like 3:42 is probably about right because you raced the race. In finals at the World Champs, Olympics, those sort of major meets, it is about racing the race, and it'll be the same for probably the 200 later on as well. And it was the same for the women's race after that as well, I thought. But the actual race itself, time-wise, I mean, they're split by less than half a second. I mean, yes, we watched the last 50, and it looked as though Short was in the lead, and then Märtens kind of dragged his way back into it. Or was it the other way around, actually? I think Märtens was in the lead, and then Short was trying to chase him back in the end. But
I went back and forth over the last 50 meters. I thought Märtens had it sewn up, but it looked like then he kicked too soon.
Yes,
Sam Short, you're watching it with 25 meters to go, and now you're looking at the result, and you're going, this isn't a 200th of a second difference that I'm watching here. Märtens is starting to pull away.
Yeah,
but no.
But the finish Short had was actually really quite good because naked eye, it looked like Märtens won by much more than that. But obviously, Sam Short got his fingernails to the wall quicker than I thought he did. But shame we didn't watch it. But I think I agree with you, to be fair. I don't know if we'll have a mega fast swim at one of these major final international meets. But come your trials or even AP meets or something like that don't mean too much in terms of medal glory, I don't think you'll see these fast times. You'll see the fast times at those other meets.
It's kind of it's not greater good. It's kind of risk reward. Like there's a massive risk of you blowing up and getting it wrong if you're chasing a world record swim at a world championships.
Yep.
If you're chasing a world record swim and chasing some mad splits at an open meet, which it was a Stockholm open meet that the world record was set.
Yep.
What's the risk?
Well, that's just it. Yeah, exactly. Because even if Märtens did get it wrong, he split at 1:47 and completely blew up. He probably still would have won the race and still gone on 3:42, like the same sort of time, probably.
Even winning the race there doesn't matter, does it?
Well, no, that's the same thing. And I think that's kind of the same thing as Summer McIntosh, because at Canadian trials, she was going to win, and she had like more chance to play with risk and actually go for it and try and hold on. But in this race, when you're racing people like Ledecky, Pallister, Lee BG, it's there's more on the line and you can't risk it as much. And I thought she swam it really quite sensibly.
Yeah, let's get to the women's 400 meters freestyle then. I agree. Like, this was... Lani Pallister tried to get the pace strong to start with. It's how Lani Pallister races any sort of race. She goes out hard and it almost sticks to one speed, which is a phenomenal speed. But yeah, McIntosh literally looked them all in the eye and with like on the third 100 just said, I've got a bit more speed in my legs, I'm going. It was phenomenal to see, but she didn't push on that first 200 like she did at Canadian trials. And she did have the 200 meters individual medley later on this session. It wasn't that far down the road for her. It was like an hour and a bit later on, which may have come into it as well. If she probably would have seen the race and gone, well, I'm faster than Katie Ledecky over 200 meters. I'm faster than Lani Pallister over 200 meters. Lee BG. Yeah, you're right. This was a case of get the gold, job done, move on to the next one, because she's going to have a very, very busy meet.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic tactic in the 400s, even your 200s, to sprint or push on the third 50 or third 100s in this case. and it was too strong that she actually broke the field. I mean, you saw Ledecky try and push the third 100 on as well.
She paid for it, I think.
Yes, paid for it at the end. I mean, arguably, did she pay for it? I think she did, but Li Bijie had an amazing last 50 to overhaul her. But I think it was all about Summer McIntosh, and maybe she was trying to preserve something in the tank because, like you say, the schedule is insane. But I just think it's smart swimming. Kind of reminds me of our men's 4x2 in Paris. Like, take it first steady for the first even 150 metres, and then the last 50, then you bring us home. Then you bring it home.
I think Katie Ledecky did pay for it a little bit, pushing on that third 50, because her final 250 splits were 29.9 and 29.9.
Yeah.
She was falling off a little bit there.
Yeah, I wonder if you can read into how that's going to affect her distance swims. I don't think you can. It's because it's more speed based than the 400.
So
but interesting for the 8th though. It's like a huge.
I was going to say, still a talking point heading in for the rest of this meet. Who's got advantage now?
It's still 50-50. Oh, it can go either way.
Okay.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, most people probably lean towards Summer because she showed speed and Ledecky fell off. But I still think it's a 50-50 race for me.
Oh, I think Summer looked incredibly strong. Not just in this race. We'll get to the 200 metres
we'll get to
individual medley later on. I think she looked so strong. And I picked her leading into these World Championships, and I'm still standing on it.
I don't blame you.
The 2 relays then. Let's talk about them, because America were meant to win these. Let's put this frank. The depth that American swimming have at 100 metres freestyle. The women's side, Australia have contended with that and had better than them for the past few years. But it's a changing of the guard for Australian swimming, let's be honest. The women's team and the trials that they had, America, we put them as firm favourites. They should have been firm favourites. Gretchen Walsh pulled out after her 100 metres butterfly semi-finals, where she went a 56.0, which is still outstandingly good.
Oh, yeah.
She pulled out, and I think the commentators on the World Aquatics stream said there's potentially some food poisoning going around camp, some illness going around the American team, which might be why she pulled out. I know Tori Husk pulled out of the 100 metres butterfly to concentrate on this relay. So maybe they're a little bit afraid of doubling up within sessions and keeping workload a little bit lower than they're used to. But still, I'm looking at the splits of the Australian team, and I don't want to disrespect like the winners of a World Championships, but it's a like from America, those splits are beatable.
That's what, when you're comparing what they did at trials, when they're all going your 52 mids around that sort of region, that's a pretty strong team. It's not going to challenge the greatest relay team that Australia had when you had Molly Callahan, Kate Campbell, and the rest of them, Emma McKeon. But it's good enough to win a World Championships, and I suppose that's what you're kind of thinking in your head.
I'm just thinking,
witnessed those times, they should be kind of mimicking that, because they've another bit of block of training. I don't know how the Americans actually do it, because we do it slightly differently over here. We have our champs in April, but they were definitely favourites going in. So yeah, it was surprising for me, but the Aussies seems to do it right, and I think it was kind of smart swimming as well.
Yeah, I'm going to take it back to your earlier comment of like copying the Brits 4x2. So instead of worrying about splits, I'll put some respect back on the Australian women, because that maybe just saying they're beatable splits. They raced it incredibly smart. So it was easy speed first 50. Very, very easy speed. Like you look at it, and they all came back incredibly. I know that's the Australian way of swimming, 100 metres freestyle. But they all came back very, very strongly in the last 50 metres. And in comparison, like Tori Husk on the final leg for America, I think she would have looked against the start list and said, okay, newbie, I'm racing Olivia Wunsch. And Olivia Wunsch went a 53.0. Tori Husk at American Trials went 52 mid.
Yeah, exactly.
She's gone out in a 24/7, and to me, she just went out too fast. She turned her head and really, really paid the price.
Well, this
it was there, like even without Gretchen Walsh, it was there. And then you look at how the Australians swam it, and actually you watch it back, and I don't you're watching it just going, they're not going to get beaten here.
Yeah, this might tie into this illness and Summer going around, because unlike Tori Husk, I mean, I'm remembering Tori Husk from what she did at trials, who swam absolutely incredible, and there were people in the comments saying she could win up to like 6-7 medals here. But if she's feeling ill, which some of them clearly are, and they can't perform at their best, and it's not going to quite happen. And then, performances can't work, and then you have swimmers going 53.0 who are then beating you. Like a 53.0 is still solid, but we're used to people going, or now anyway, going 52 mids to high, even lows now. So it's a turn up for the books, I think. But I think there's something to be said about this illness going around. It's not normal for Gretchen Walsh or Tori Huss to pull out of their arguably main races, actually. Tori Huss's probably main race is the 100 free. But, not normal for them to pull out of races.
If you're an Australian fan, this is hugely, hugely exciting.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because it's a building blocks for a next cycle, let's be honest. And you've got Meg Harris going to 51.8, which is phenomenal.
Very good.
And it's meant to be was it meant to be a down year? I don't know if it was meant to be a down year.
It's just a building year, just because some of these swimmers, they have had an international experience, but not loads of it compared to the swimmers that they've lost. Emma McKeon, who's a veteran, now retired obviously, and trying to replace her is extremely difficult. Olivia Winch is probably one of those swimmers to do that. Molly O'Callaghan is still doing very well, but Meg Harris, of course. So there's still swimmers there. I mean, the ultimate aim is still LA, which is still 3 years away, and you've got to try and build these swimmers up to get ready for that, and hopefully they're hitting 51s by that point. I suppose that's the ultimate aim. But interesting though. We'll see how it pans out maybe next year.
I wonder how loud the Aussies will be in the press after this.
Especially Kate Campbell. I think Kate Campbell will really go in hard because she does that anyway.
I hope so. I always quite enjoy that. Men's 4x100 meters freestyle. Then this was even more of a sure thing for me. The Aussies had the perfect swim. This wasn't a case of the Americans could have beaten them. The Aussie swim was outstanding, especially Kyle Chalmers finishing in a 46.5. Something's changed post Paris in Kyle Chalmers.
For Chalmers.
I think he looks like a different animal. Like he always was this presence on a poolside, and especially in a relay. I think he's got like the 7 of the top 10 fastest relay splits now of all time.
Yeah.
The way he attacked the first 50 in this race felt like a statement against. I think it was Johnny Coco. That first 50 and the back end as well, mind you, because he left them on that final 50. So he brought it back on the first and then left them on the second 50. Kind of poses a question which I'll leave to in a minute actually, but I kind of half expected like the Americans to kind of rattle the world record, if I'm honest, with the way that they swam again at trials, but it could be an illness going around that affected them. But looking at their splits, like Alexi 47.2, that's good. That's a good lead off. In fact, they were leading by, I think, half a body length by that point, roughly speaking. So they were ahead the whole time. I just think it was the Chalmers effect. Chalmers magic.
Like a 46.5 is very hard to contend with. I think Panzan Le also went a 46.5, 6, somewhere around that marker. So the question is, I was going to pose to you, does Chalmers now put his hand up saying, should Popovich and Pan be the only contenders in the 100 free?
He's in that shout.
Yeah, it has to be, doesn't
he? He's attacked this race and he's gone out in a 22 flat. Panzan Le took his leg out in a 21.9. I think Chalmers came back faster by 0.2. He's surely in the conversation.
Yeah, has to be.
Has to be.
I'm trying to work out what's happened. But you remember we had a comment saying Cam McAvoy might be, what was the word? Distracted because he's got a child on the way. Well, of course, Kyle's got a kid on the way. And I think that might be just extra motivation. I think Adam Peaty had that motivation when he had his. So maybe that's the catalyst. But of course, he's good friends with Cam and he knows how to do, or has obviously learned about this new sprinting evolution that's going on.
It's true.
So
he's
maybe
there's aiming lower distance slightly now.
So there could be a few sort of branches to explain why he's doing so well. Obviously, the mental state is obviously extremely good right now. But yeah, interesting because does he go in near? Well, he's not a favourite for the 100 free, no, but he's definitely on like podium level now for sure. And it's whether he can actually beat one of the other two. It's gonna be a good race.
Should we have a bit of Brit watch in this race then? Because this was the only final for us British swimming fans to enjoy. The men's team finished in 4th in the new British record of a 3:10.73. The splits for this one were Jacob Mills leading off in a 48.51, Matt Richards 47.32, Jacob Whittle 47.67, and Duncan Scott a 47.23. I'm looking at those splits and going, can't ask for much more. I'm actually really, really happy with that swim. They were slightly out of the race over in lane 7. So maybe if they were in amongst it with lanes 3, 4, 5, where the podium came from, essentially. Like America didn't even get silver, by the way. Italy got silver.
No.
Maybe if they were in amongst it there would have been a few more waves for them to surf. But
and Duncan's good at that as well, of course.
He's very good at that. I don't think you can ask too much more from this. I think there's, again, some fantastic building blocks because Jacob Mills is only 18 years old. Matt Richards is 22. Jacob Whittle's 21, 22. And Duncan Scott's Duncan Scott. Like, he's going to be around in LA as well.
Yeah.
This is a relay that's promised so much for a little while now, and maybe we're starting to see shoots of consistency.
Yeah, I think a solid all-round. I suppose the only problem I would say is that we need a 5th swimmer. I think Tom Dean would have been that, but he was slightly off, unfortunately. But if we had another sort of backup swimmers to try and put into the relay or the final, that'd be amazing, just to give some of these swimmers an extra little bit of rest. And then arguably maybe put Matt as leader. He's our fastest 100 freestyler Britain's ever had, so maybe put him at the front.
But Jacob is... I'm trying to suss out the logic of Jacob going first, and probably he's the youngster you don't want a flyer. Just don't take it's the experience of it, isn't it? A major meet.
I guess so, but I would prefer... It's all about... Or as British swimming... As Aquatics GB always say, it's not about gaining experience as such, it's about getting the medals and performing. So if that's the case, get yourself in the race by putting Matt first, so he's there or thereabouts with the leaders, and then you put Jacob second, for example.
But you were out in lane...
Well, that's just it. You got to be part of it. You got to get out in front when you're an outside lane. So that would be my only problem. But I generally think that most of those swims, in fact, no, all of those swims are as solid as they can be.
I was going to say British record. We actually can't ask for anything more.
Yeah, exactly. So we're nitpicking. We really are. So I think they were good swims.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually think it's really exciting moving forward for, let's say, the 4x2. I think because of Matt and Duncan's first 100 speed. Like this is fast. Like for them to be going this sort of speed in a 4x1 relay, very, very fast. I know Matt's got the individual for the 100 meters freestyle. I think he said in an interview with BBC Wales, it's potentially the one that he thinks he's got the most potential in to grow. I'd agree. Just the rest of the world and 100 meters freestyle right now, we've just talked about Kyle Chalmers. He makes a final in 100 meters freestyle. That's outstanding again. Like this field is going to be fast.
Yeah, oh, definitely. And going back to your 4x2, Jack McMillan also did really well in his 400, hitting a new PB, which should bode well for the back end of his 200 as well. Whether he makes the final, I don't know how that's all going to play out, but it'd be a straight shootout
between him and Tom Dean. And
I would have thought
Evan Jones as well.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Okay, that is the first finals from the Swimming World Championships 2025. We've got 4 gold medals handed out. Like I said, no American gold medals, 2 Aussies in there already. Maybe that's a swing that we'll talk about later on in the meet, atop of the medal table, because I would have personally put America ahead in both of those heading in, maybe 1-1. But 2-0 Australia is quite impressive. This week's episode of the Propulsion Swimming Podcast is brought in partnership with OneFlow Aquatics out in Summer Bay. Now, a lot of this squad that we've gone through, especially those based in Manchester, a few of those based in Loughborough, have been out to their training centre in Summer Bay, Egypt, which of course was founded by the partners of this podcast, OneFlow Aquatics. We've been out there to see the facilities. I know those who have gone out there really enjoyed the sun and the swimming facilities on offer, and essentially really enjoyed the facilities out there as part of their preparations to these World Championships.
Yeah, I see a lot of reels when they came back of them actually. You see bits and pieces of them swimming, obviously in training, but actually I think they enjoyed the golf and the paddle and all those other bits and pieces, go-karting. which actually make the camps worthwhile as well as the work in the pool and the gym. But it all comes into one amazing week, or however long they go for. I think Manchester were there for about 3 weeks or so. So 2 and a bit, yeah. So it's an amazing place to train. I say this every time, but I wish I was still swimming to train out there, because it really is an amazing facility. Do have a look in the show notes, because it is worth having a go and look at.
Yeah, so if you want to inquire about booking your next trip to Summer Bay, whether that be at the October half-term break, when I know a lot of clubs go on their training camps at the end of this year, whether it's February at the start of next year, or maybe even a little bit of a tapered training camp heading into a Summer Nationals, which I know are going on literally as we're recording now. You can do that by following the link in the show notes of this podcast, which takes you over to renowned sports booking agents, Sports Abroad. And if you've got any questions as well about what it's like over there, what the travel's like, what the venue, what the hotel, anything like that, just drop us a message on our social media, and we can let you guys know literally anything. How big, how small. I can tell you how big the calamari steak was that I had over there. I can go into that detail if you want.
It was big.
As well.
It was good. Yeah.
It was really good. Let's talk semi-final swims, because there were a few talking points in here as well. Men's 50 meters butterfly. My prediction heading in to these championships, Maxime Grosset looks very, very strong, albeit the field is tight. Incredibly close across the board heading into tomorrow's final. Britwatch, we've got Ben Proud, who's just set a new British record in a 22.74. It's a race that I think he did an interview with Aquatics GB. It's a race that actually started his professional swimming career. It's the one he enjoyed the most. So it must be great for him that it's now an Olympic race that he can actually start to target. He can have 2 races at World Championships.
Yep.
And obviously it comes, day 1 at this meet, day 1 and day 2, and the 50 meters freestyle right at the back end. They don't clash whatsoever. He's got time to recover. Who knows what he can do in the final tomorrow, but the field is split by 3/10 going in. It's close.
I mean, going back to Ben really quickly, I think his first love was the 50 fly, because I think he was world champion, it was this event where he became world champion for the first time. So I think that's where I think he's quite glad that it's obviously at the World Championships every year, or every other year, whenever it runs now. And then now it's going to be in every Olympics as well. So it's almost two hits. And of course, when you look at the lineup of the field, and they're all split by nothing, anyone can win.
Literally nothing.
Literally nothing. They're all going to finish at the same time. So Ben's got a great chance of podiuming, but he's got a good chance of coming 7th as well. That's the beauty of this race. But British record, and I think there's more to come. I mean, he's very good at going through the rounds quicker, so maybe we should expect another British record. We actually didn't say this on the previews of British swimming to have a British record in this event, so be good to have 2 in 2 days. I'm not even
sure we predicted a medal in the 50 fly.
I don't think we did.
I think just how deep this event was going through the world, and we didn't really know that Ben was full on targeting it, but he's in amongst it with Pontes right now. Niels Castañas. He is.
I mean, it's very much.
I'm just looking down this list. He is the pure 50 swimmer out of all of them, I think.
Yeah, you could have Castaña in there. He's 50 fly specialist, I would say, but he can also do the 100, I suppose. Same with Grousset, I guess. But exciting. Exciting. I think he could find another 10th there potentially. That'd be quite nice.
Men's 100 meters breaststroke. Martinenghi disqualification. Let us know in the comment section below your point of view on this one before we get started. I'll give you guys a second to write it. Should he have been reinstated? Dan, what do you reckon?
Well, let's start off. So I think he was DQ'd correctly. He's moving on the block. That's a DQ. Yes. Should he be reinstated? Absolutely not. If you're disqualified, you don't make the final. I'm sorry. Otherwise, we're just messing around the rules. Then you can't just make up the rules as you go. I don't get it.
I appreciate through the whole of this session, they were holding swimmers a long time on the blocks.
They were
quite a long time in the blocks, and I actually we talk about Greg Butler. Right, he was in the same race as Martinenghi, and I think it hampered him. Like his start off the blocks wasn't the best, and he still went at 59.5, which is outstanding. By the way, amazing progress. But yeah, he's constantly pulling back, and they spotted it on the comms from the wide angle. Like Martinenghi is still moving, constantly still moving, and the long hold made it look worse.
It's clear, yeah.
But he's racing tomorrow, and podium threat tomorrow. Let's be honest with you, he went at 58 point.
He's Olympic champion. So yeah.
I'd love to understand the reasoning. We'll never get a statement about why he was reinstated.
I can't get behind it. Like, you wouldn't see that at the Olympics. Like, would you get to the Olympics and let's say Luke Greenbank, when he went past 15, but I know he won't go under 15 or past 15 the next time he swims. We'll put him back in. Like, no, like, disqualified. That's it. It's over. It's as cutthroat as that. So I'm really baffled why he's been allowed into a world final. Like,
I'd love for someone else to explain why he's back in.
Yeah, maybe there is a good reason and we're not privy to it, but yeah, I can't agree with it. I assume you agree. I don't know. You haven't actually said.
Oh yeah, no,
right,
I do.
Right. Yeah.
I don't quite get it.
No,
and I actually think, and I heard this on the commentators afterwards, and I think this is the case. Looking at the final sheet, this is the case. They've reinstated him and then not bumped the 9th place swimmer out of the final. So they're swimming 9, which just, if you're going to reinstate him, fine, then you bump the 9th swimmer.
Also,
you can't, it's meant to be 8 into a final.
You've got the line up there. Which lane is he in?
He's in the middle lane. He came 2nd.
That just impacts everyone else, doesn't it? Because everyone else then shuffles around because of that. Yeah, that's a domino effect. That I can't.
I don't get it. I'm lost. Doing swimming things.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not a good look, I don't think. But going back to the actual swim itself,
yes.
Marcingi did do very well. But actually, Chin looks solid, and he is rightly going in as fastest and favourite. 58.2 is good. Like, you're kind of expecting a sub 58 actually coming from him. But 59.39 to make the final. It's getting quicker and quicker every year now. And that's why I was going to bring up Greg Butler, because 59.5, he's only then 0.1 away of making the final, which is good news. Good news for him.
Do you know what it's also good news for? 4x1 medley relay.
Relay, yes.
Because looking at the Americans, Campbell McKean, his first World Championships, hasn't clicked. He hasn't backed it up for American trials. He went to 59.7. So there is an American in the final, Josh Matheny, who went to the Olympic Games. He's gone to 59.1. So I'm just doing the maths. How far ahead's Ollie Morgan of an American backstroker at this point in time? Quite far.
It's over a second, isn't it, I think? Or round about
I don't think we lose as much ground on Greg Butler as potentially some thought we might heading into the medley relay.
Not now that he's dropped half a second.
I'd caveat by saying the Italians might be favourite now.
But possibly, yeah. French is also quite...
And
maybe.
Chinese.
Yeah. There's actually a few nations. Yeah, it's going to be a good race.
But Greg's under a minute now. Like, it's a big mark to go under a minute, and he's done it at a World Championships. We went into this meet, and Chris Spice came out saying we want season's bests from our swimmers, where he's hit personal bests. A little bit like Ben. The team are doing well.
Yeah, I think Greg's now got that monkey off his back. He's gone under 60 seconds for the first time, and I wouldn't be surprised if he hits sub 60 every time he swims now. He now knows he can do it, which means he'll just do it every time. And it wouldn't surprise me if the PB kept falling, if we suddenly see a 59.3, 59.2, or something like that. Especially relay split-wise, I think it will be a low 59, which will be exciting times for our British relay team.
I'm looking forward to the 2. I'm really looking forward to the 2.
Sure. Yeah.
So I still think that's his go-to.
I think so as well. I agree.
Okay, then let's talk about the 2 women's events. So we've got the 100 meters butterfly, which a little bit like we started this podcast on, we didn't manage to watch because of the Eurovision stream sucking. Yes. Gretchen Walsh goes in joint fastest, 56.0 with a Belgian swimmer. That one maybe is a tiny bit more of a surprise to me. And if she's pulled out of the 4x1 free relay, maybe there's a chink of light. Maybe there's a little chink in the armour that potentially tomorrow isn't going to be as straightforward as we spent about 2 seconds on the preview of the women's 100 metres butterfly for our gold medal prediction, because Gretchen Walsh was a good second ahead of everyone in the world. She's not going into the final tomorrow as fast. Well, she is fast as seed, but she's not alone, and it's not far that she's ahead of the rest of the field at all.
No, she went faster in the heats, didn't she? She went sub 56 in the heats, I believe.
Did she?
So
okay.
more than capable of going 55, of course. But I think we throw it back to that illness that's going around at Summerberg, because it hits them all differently. Like I said before, that I don't think she would have pulled out of the relay if there wasn't a problem. But and maybe she was told to take it relatively easy, because suddenly a 56.0 for her is actually going down a gear, isn't it? But makes it a little bit more exciting, because otherwise it's a procession for her. Just she's going to win. Is she going to break a world record? That's the only really exciting selling point. Doesn't look like that will happen now, potentially, but we could be all surprised. But yeah, makes it a bit more interesting than just a one-horse race.
Yeah, Britwatch Kiana McInnes just misses out on the final, but a semi-final swim for her and a second Scottish record of the day. Actually, she went a 57.67, which again, a bit like Greg Butler, a bit like Ben Proud, you're hitting season's best, personal best. Our World Championships meets, I would have thought performance director, head coach, very happy.
Oh, you can't be disappointed with anyone at the moment. I said Jack McMillan hit a PB, so they're all doing season's best or personal best. You can't ask for any more. And Kiana's time, I'm looking forward to her 200 now, but the time at 100 is getting lower and lower.
I would say maybe we accidentally skirted over her 200 fly potential. She's there or thereabouts in the world. Like, the world rankings are skewed because there's about 10 Americans in the top 15. Yeah. But obviously there's only 2 racing at the World Championships. I think she's like 4th or 5th heading into the world, and she's just hit a PB in the 100 meters butterfly. Yeah. Excited. Yeah. If she can get down to 205 at these games, which I think now's the aim for the 2 fly.
Yep. In with a shout, for sure.
Definitely in with a shout. Yeah. Let's round things out then with the women's 200 meters individual medley. Summer McIntosh is doing Katie Ledecky things to 200 meters fields. That's the note that I wrote after watching the 200 meters 200 meters individual medley semi-finals. She destroyed the field with a 207, and she swims that again in the final. She wins comfortably.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Streaks ahead. It looks like she took the backstroke off a little bit from where she raced at Canadian trials. That was where she dropped off the world record split, but she really kicked on kind of the back end of the breaststroke and the freestyle leg and just tore away from the field. It was crazy how far ahead she was. It was like 10 meters.
Yeah, I don't know how much to dissect it all, because she can obviously go 2 seconds quicker, and it looks comfortable, and she's destroying the field.
And it was off the back of doing it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Right, it's scary what she's doing at the moment. And like you say, in a 200-meter event, you're not supposed to win that far over 4 lengths. It's not supposed to happen. Yeah, the backstroke is looking very good based on what Canadian trials happened, based on what she did at Canadian trials and what she's just done there.
I meant she took it off.
That's what I'm saying. So it looks good because it was quick, but it looks effortless. So there's obviously more to come on that split, and then probably the beginning of the breaststroke as well. So she's obviously clear favourite in that, and there's no one that's going to really stop her. I don't think,
unless something happens on a crossover turn.
Well, that's just it.
No one's getting close. Sorry.
And then swimming behind her, I suppose we've got to talk Brits again. Abby Wood, I thought the backstroke wall underwater was strong. And again, she's a fantastic backstroker, and she's pushing that on because she's a brilliant freestyler. Breaststroke she used to do, but like I said before, 200 breaststroke, like near the British record, to Molly Renshaw's British record once upon a time. So she's got the back end, and so she's working that front end. And it's looking good right now. And promising stuff. So if she can push on a little bit more, she's got a great chance for a podium.
Yeah, she had a weird lane draw for the semi-finals because her morning swim was 2:11, which is it's okay. Like,
it's a heat swim,
blow off the cobwebs, but maybe she needed a little bit more to secure kind of a middle lane for the semi-finals, which meant she was in like lane 2. And the reason it was weird for me was it really helped her in the fly leg of the race, which is one I think that she said before she struggles to push on. Because she was next to the 12-year-old Chinese swimmer who makes the final, AUSSIE, which really helped her push on from there. But then when it came to the freestyle leg, the race was on the other side of the pool between like Alex Walsh and swimmers like that, and she was almost in no man's land. And in a way, she did really well to back it up and come 4th in that semi-final, which was a faster semi-final, albeit Summer did her thing. So she qualified like 5th into tomorrow's final. It was kind of a tough ask for Abby, just looking at how the race progressed for that semi-final for her to get into the final.
Yeah, it's just, I guess, the luck of the draw, I suppose. Maybe you just wanted her to go slightly quicker, let's say a 2:10 in the heats, which then would have solved that conundrum, if you want to call it a conundrum. Maybe that was part of the plan, to be on the other side of the pool. I don't think you can look too much into it, because I think it is slightly luck of the draw. But yeah, in a way, that the UZD, we should probably say, UZD is she's an outstanding swimmer. Her fly split is quite incredible, and I don't know if that, like you say, helped on the fly, but then hindered on the free.
Okay, I think that just about rounds up tonight's review show of day 1 of the World Swimming Championships out in Singapore 2025. Get active in the comments section over on YouTube. We'll reply to most of them. Like, it's actually quite sociable hours, the racing that takes place.
It is.
For us guys over here in the UK, it means we've got a whole evening we can spend in the comment section. We can have conversations with you guys. We've had a few conversations on Instagram as well with people really struggling with the live stream, and maybe they needed to go on a dog walk like I did.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, better experience tomorrow, because we've got the likes of Ollie Morgan starting his campaign. Some really exciting swims for the Brits. Obviously, we've got finals for Ben Proud and Abby Wood to look forward to. And maybe another Summer McIntosh gold. So, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And me and Dan will see you guys in 24 hours. It'll be up a little bit earlier tomorrow, hopefully. We won't need to call off.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Propulsion Swimming Podcast with Scott and Dan. We want to thank you for joining us and invite you to subscribe to the show, as well as checking out the Propulsion Swimming YouTube channel for weekly tutorials and videos to get your swimming fix. We will be back next week. Until then, we'll catch you on the next one.